All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of If It Be Your Will podcast. I'm reaching down to Philadelphia. I'm pulling in Jacob from Jaco Jaco. We were just talking about this before we hopped on about the genre, or how do you classify? And it's just groove-filled, fun, electronic-based. And we're going to get Jacob to fill in and ... as we go through this conversation. And you might know Jacob from Sports, which was a great indie rock band that he started way back. And Jacob, from what I can tell, you've been doing music for a hell of a long time. Am I wrong in saying that?
You're not wrong. No, it's all I've ever done, pretty much.
Right. And
yeah.
What's the relationship with you and your brother in music? I guess that would be a good spot because I did read that he was a big influence, or you guys co-worked together a ton. So yeah. What is this beginning of how it started with you and your brother?
Yeah, I mean, he was the first one to bring any instruments into the house. My parents got him a drum set, which is very nice of them, you know. Very early on.
Or the house, in the house. Wow.
Yeah, and it was a small house, so right. Yeah, I'm sure the neighbors weren't happy, but our neighbor, I guess one of our neighbors was probably unhappy, but the other neighbor that sold us the kit was happy to see, you know, that he was inspiring the younger generation. But yeah, so he started on drums and then eventually got a guitar. And so it was around me whenever I was pretty young, just him playing those instruments and exploring. And it wasn't until I think I was probably in 6th grade before I decided I wanted to play an instrument. And I was like, teach me guitar, you know? And he tried and we clashed. And I was like, you know what? I'm not learning guitar. I'm gonna get a bass. So I got a bass, and turned out that's kind of what his band needed eventually. So it all worked out. You know, I was the bass player for that band, and so throughout my middle school and high school, we were a band and played a lot together. And then we took it seriously once we got out of high school, and that's when Sports began. Was, I guess, my first year out of high school. That's whenever we dropped I guess we didn't release the record until 2015. I graduated later on, but yeah. He introduced me to all the recording software. He was pirating the software for us on the home computer, and he was always the tech one, you know. I just kind of was following in his footsteps, really.
Yeah. What was the age difference between you and your brother?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similar to me and my brother. We're about 2.5 years, and there is a bondage that happens when you're close in age like that with another sibling, and particularly with another, you know, same sex, you know, like a boy to boy or a girl to girl. It seems like there's this unsaid bond that happens. And what did you think about your brother and his music when you were first kind of like, that looks like fun? Like,
yeah,
what was it about what he was doing that made it seem so appealing to you?
I don't know. I think I was always drawn to music one way or another. I remember always seeking out, like, on the home computer, music videos. I got really into Red Hot Chili Peppers at a young age. And so I was always drawn to music. And then to see it, you know, happen before my eyes, I think was inspiring. And it's just cool. I don't know. Playing guitar is cool. Being in the band is cool. It was like a thing amongst all my friends. We were all like making up who was going to be in each other's bands, but nobody played any music. So I was like, I'm actually going to learn how to play an instrument. And so it was, my brother kind of just showed me the way, I guess.
Right. It's always good to have somebody that kind of forges the way a little bit, and then you can spread your wings and fly off, which you've done. And when did it become serious to you? When did it stop being like, okay, yeah, this is cool high school thing, and to like, I really want to take this seriously. I want to start writing songs and like putting records out and doing shows. And like, when did that switch happen for you?
I would say it got serious once I graduated high school. So the other guys in the band kind of went different ways, and we weren't sure if the band was going to stay a thing. And then once I graduated, because they graduated, you know, a few years before me. Once I was out, we were like, let's just go all in. Let's do this. Let's make a record properly. Because we had made a few very DIY records in high school. But that was whenever we met our producer, Chad Copeland, who I still work with today, who also just changed our lives completely. Uh, so Kale, the singer of Sports, started interning at Blackwatch. And that's when everything started to feel like, oh, we can actually make a real record and sound the way we want to sound. Even though we didn't really know what we were doing, we were just making demos and figuring it out as we went. And yeah, so I guess it was like right before the first record. So 2015 is when that came out. That's whenever we decided, like, let's just go all in on this.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Right. And what was the band's process for writing songs and putting them together? Like, was there somebody at the lead of that and then people contributed, or was it always a kind of a band thing that you guys did together? Like, how did you guys, start with an idea and get it to something that could appear on a record?
Yeah, we all were producing separately.
Okay.
And at that time in the beginning, I wasn't singing at all. So we would basically just each craft demos. Kale would have demos with vocals and all that. And I would send over instrumentals, and Christian would send over instrumentals for Kale to figure out vocals on. So that's how it started. So we would just have a batch of demos, and then we would take them to Chad, and then we would just finish them in the studio. So yeah, it was very much an individual process in the beginning. Like in the beginning, we weren't really writing as a band together. It was more like we each had our own voice, we each had our own style, and then Kale would kind of bring it all together with his style and singing and lyrics and all that. And then Chad would kind of be the finishing touch. We'd add drums with Chad, and yeah. So and not much has changed since then. I think I'm still very much doing the same kind of writing the same way I was before on my own. Yeah, it is.
It's quite different approaches too. Like, originally when Sports was coming together, like, how did you guys start figuring out, here's the sound that we want? Was it just through accident, or was it like something that you guys really consciously kind of like, here's what we want to kind of get to?
Yeah, I think we were just trying to mimic our heroes at the time. I think we were just trying to sound like, our favorite bands at the time. And I think our producer was very instrumental in the way that he helped us not like fully rip off the bands we were trying to rip off. He was like, I hear something unique in what you're doing. And then he brought that out in us. And I think that's, like, we owe him a lot for that in those early days, for like seeing something in us and taking it to that next level,
Yeah. It's impressive to be able to kind of see things and also craft. Like, crafting sounds hard, and now you've kind of like started doing it again. So
yeah.
Sports kind of came to an end. This was all in Oklahoma, right? Where you guys first started to...
Yeah, they're still going. I left the band in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite a while ago, eh? Well...
Yeah, at this point, somehow it's been 6 years. I don't know where that time has gone.
And then you chose to leave the band and focus more on your own materials, and moved at the same time to where you are now in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And what was that process like? Why did you move to Philadelphia, and why did you want to kind of focus more on yourself and what you were creating music-wise?
The first question, I moved to Philadelphia because it was the most affordable, like, real city that I could find on the internet. And I had been here before. So I didn't, like, we had traveled here a few times on tour, and I never really thought much about it. It was always like an in-between. And then like an in-between, like New York and the other major markets. It was like, oh, we've got to play Philly. And it was always kind of stressful with all the cars parked, and it was like parking was stressful and all that, whatever, with the van and trailer. So I'd kind of always had written it off, and then we visited and loved it and decided to make the move. So yeah, and it's been awesome. I love it here.
And was it just kind of where it was located that was the most appeal? Like, was there anything musical that drew you there? Like, the scene,
I think, being
like other bands you kind of really admired, or like, was there another intention behind it?
It really was just I felt like being on the East Coast was was cool. It was always a dream of mine to live in New York or on the East Coast in general. So it was kind of fulfilling that dream a little bit, um, without having to sacrifice too much of my creature comforts that I had in Oklahoma, like being able to afford a larger space for a studio and all that is nice. And I'm still so close to New York, I can still reap the benefits without having to pay the high rent and live a little bit quieter of a lifestyle, but still live in a city. It's kind of a hidden gem, I think. But
Absolutely. Well, you're not the first musician to have tell me that.
Really?
I've talked with other musicians that they chose Philly, so it's like I was curious about um, the poll, but they echoed similar things like cheaper rent. You know, you can have more space. You're still in the area of the East Coast and like all of these important things that
yeah, and it's a proper city. I mean, people dog on the public transportation, but it's light years better than most of the U.S. and it's very walkable. So if you like that kind of lifestyle, it's a great place. But yeah, I apologize to those that want to keep rents down. I'm talking it up too much. I'm sorry. I don't want too many people to move here.
bring it down Philly,
Yeah.
hands down, because it's attracting some cool culture.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Growing and building.
Yeah, there's a great community, music community here.
Yeah. So Jacob, what about your like Jaco Jaco? Like, how did that boil out of sports? Like, how did did you have the intent when you were leaving sports that you wanted to start focusing more on your own music, or did that happen after the fact?
Yeah, it was definitely an intentional move.
Okay.
I think yeah, it was the third record I started singing. I have 3 songs on that third record that I sing on. And I think that just kind of lit the fire. I was like, okay, I think I should try this on my own. And for some reason, it wasn't an option in my head to do both. I was like, it's either all or nothing, you know? But yeah, it really just allowed me the space and the freedom to explore myself as an artist without the confines of the band that like, it was the only thing I knew was this band and these guys and my brother, you know? So I think to me, it sounded exciting to take that chance on myself. And really, it really just forced me to get better at songwriting and producing. And like, I kind of think like looking back that I think I thought I knew more than I actually did. Like once I actually made the leap, I was like, oh my God, I have a lot of work to do. Like I was really relying on them for a lot of things. And it's been a fun process and a fun journey to kind of discover myself as an artist apart from the only thing that I ever knew. But also it's been 6 years now, so I feel like I'm like pretty past that at this point. I feel like I'm my own artist at this point. I'm not really just a guy that was in a band, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. And I mean, I like pointing people to Bandcamp pages because there's so much cool stuff that happens there and your Bandcamp page is very well represented. You've got some great singles out there, and this is your third record that came out, right? On the Levee is your third?
Yes. My
Amazing.
third one. If you count the second one. I like to count the second one as a record, but some people might say it's too short.
Is that
But I think it counts. Yeah, Gremlin, it's 7 tracks, but to me, it's a record.
an EP?
It's not an EP. So, but yeah.
Kind of happy spot, I think, where you can still call it an LP. Because, I mean, what else are you going to call it? A KP or nothing? What's your process? Like, you said that your process hasn't changed much in songwriting from your early days to now. Can you walk us through, like, how does a song come to be for Jaco Jaco? Like, how does it come to be that you're going to continue pursuing a song or shelving it and being like, just don't know about that one yet? Like,
Yeah.
how do you start to know or recognize when you're onto something that could appear on a Jaco Jaco record?
It's a great question, honestly. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that. It just is I guess it's a feeling. I think for this latest record, I didn't pull from a large pool of demos. I think I set out to make the record and I just did it, which is cool. I wasn't really pulling, like all these songs were written within the last two years or 1 year even. like I set out to write the record and I wrote it, and all the songs I wrote ended up being on the record, which I don't think has ever happened. I think usually I'm pulling from mini, demos or like combining demos or whatever. But this one was, I think I just kind of made it happen in real time, which is cool. So yeah, to answer your question, I think it's just a feeling. Like if it feels like art, then it's good to me,
Right. And
Yeah.
what song cracked the code for On the Levee? Like, what was the first song that was like, all right, here's the start of something, and that
Yeah.
you felt you wanted to keep pursuing that?
I think it may have been Levee, which none of the other songs really sound like that one, which is interesting. It's like I wrote that and I was like, all right, I've got it, and then wrote all the other songs that don't sound anything like it. But I do think that one kickstarted the whole thing, and I think that's why I felt uh, I felt like I needed to call it that. I was like, this album was built on this foundation of this song, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you finding that? So you have three LPs out, a bunch of singles as well. I'm staring at your Bandcamp page right now. How have you found that evolution has happened between the records? Because I hear it, but again, like the describing it, it's hard to describe music sometimes. Like, is it different? Like, were there new components brought in? Were there new collaborators that start to happen? In your opinion, like, what is different about On the Levee than, example, Gremlin or Splat, which was your first full release? Can you say all those things, or is it all kind of like just a big hazy?
It's a little hazy. The most obvious is there are different drummers on each record. So drums is like the one thing that I will delegate out to people that are better than me, unless it's a drum machine, obviously. So the first record was a guy in Philly I met named Andrew Torrey. He did most of that record, did a great job. And then the second record was my live drummer, Jem Seidel. Amazing drummer, one of my favorite drummers of all time. And then this third record was Nathan Price from Broncho, and one song from this guy James McAllister, who played with Sufjan Stevens and a few other national guys like that. Who's from Oklahoma, so he's friends with my producer, and we've worked with him and Nathan from Broncho since the first sports days. Like it's kind of just like those are my producers' go-to guys, or like Nathan and James. So I think that's the major difference between the three. Is as far as other parts, yeah, it's a little hazy. I don't know. I think I've just been refining my sound more and more, finding my voice literally, like how I want to sing and how I want to sound, and that's an endless process. Because the first record, I was pretty new to singing. Like I had only sang the first time I sang was those three sports songs on Everyone's Invited. So it's been a process discovering what it is, like what my voice is supposed to be and how it's supposed to sound and my range and all that. So I think this new project is me at my most maybe refined and mature and confident, I guess.
Yeah. Did you start feeling like you took more chances vocally on the Levee than on the previous records?
I think I was just I'm still figuring out my voice, but I think the first two records I was really just seeing what worked. And I think for this record I didn't think that much about it. I think it was more about the song as a whole and less about how I sounded or something. Like I don't really recall ever having any really struggling with the vocals. I think I've kind of found the pocket a little bit on this record,
Nice.
which is a great feeling.
Yeah. And so this comes out July 10th. There's 3 singles already out, guys, so you can go and listen to 3 previews of this record. What's your feeling about it now that it's done? Like, records take forever to build, and the time that musicians put into these records is like you lose track of time.
Yeah.
how are you feeling about it? Kind of looking back on having gone through that process, and now you have this artifact of your creative endeavors. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling great about it. I'm really excited for it to be out. I will say I'm ready to move on from it. And you can't really do that until it's fully out. And I've already started writing the next record and working on demos and all that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to just closing that chapter and moving on and letting other people experience it, and I'm excited to hear how people respond, because you spend so much time with it, you feel like you know it, and then once it's out, you're like, oh, that's what people are getting from it. Like even hearing you say like you don't know how to categorize it, you're like, what is this? Is interesting to me, because to me it's so familiar, because I've been working on it for so long. So it is a great feeling just to let it go. So I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. And what was kind of your intent, Jacob, behind, like, do you when you start to put a record together, and you said it all kind of happened within a year or so where the songs were crafted, did you have an intent behind it that you would hope people would get from it? Like, do you approach music that way, where you're kind of like, this is kind of how I want to sculpt it, and I hope people see this? Like, is there an intent that you put forth?
Like a concept?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I think for me, I come up with the overall theme kind of after the fact, like with each song. Like a lot of times how I write is I'll get the music and the syllables and the sounds and all that, and then I fill in the blanks, and then I'll get a phrase or two, and then build from there. And then it sometimes takes a little bit of time to realize what the song's truly about. It's like, oh, that's like, you look from a bird's eye view, it's like, oh, that's what I was singing about. It didn't even, it's my subconscious just coming out naturally. And it's a strange phenomenon, but once the record was finished, I think I was able to kind of find the overarching theme and the idea and the feeling that I was trying to portray in the world that I was building, I guess. But yeah, in the beginning, it's kind of just you're following the thread. You're just casting out your line, hoping you catch something, and hopefully it matches generally what you're doing. And sometimes you need a little bit of this or that, and I think that's kind of what I was trying to do with the record, is like cover all my bases, and make it a well-rounded experience. And that ended up being 10 songs. There you go.
Well, it's a great record. I mean, I've had the privilege of listening to it from the top to the bottom, and it's so good. I really enjoy it. And again, yeah, I mean, genre, I mean, it's indie, it's poppy, it's electronic-y, it's groovy, it's retro-y.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of those things and more. So people, on July 10th, you're going to get the opportunity to listen to the whole thing. Do it. Jacob, before we end, what does 2026 look like for you in the music? So your album comes out in July. Are you doing other things with the record, or it's going to come out and then you're on to the next thing?
I'm always writing, so you can always expect another record out of me. Definitely some shows. I'm going to be playing some shows. Hopefully get a tour put together. So yeah, keep an eye out for me in the live world, in the real world. Maybe you'll see me out there.
As a real person doing real.
I'm a real person. True.
Well, Jacob, it's been really nice. I love listening to your journey so far, and I can't wait for the next chapter to come. It's been really fascinating, and I really appreciate your time. I know it's not always easy to find time to talk about your craft, but I really enjoyed it, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
Awesome. Thanks.
Cool.
Another mystic hour, a stranger paradise. I want to feel like I don't know if I'll ever find you. That voice inside my spread rumors after dark.